will be committed, those who are a signature for the peace agreement. So if they were so sincere about this, and then the case of Riek Machar, if Riek Machar committed atrocity, of course it would be taken to hybrid court. It should have been an allowed hybrid court. That's why I'm saying Tamatul for all this time is to get up to this point. As I mentioned from the beginning, always President Kiir has been using Riek Machar as a scapegoat to remain in power. And actually, he succeeded. He succeeded. And I mentioned that he was always, Riek Machar issues is unifying factor for the young to rile behind him because he always reminding them, the guy that you guys seen here is the same guy in 1991 that committed atrocity, killing people, stabbed the movement from the back. These are the things that, I try to bring to your attention. Okay. Another point that was raised when I came into the room, you guys were talking, Riek Machar is guilty because simply he asked the late General Major to surrender. But you know what, my brother, you cannot be one way always. You cannot be one way. Why would you assume that Riek Machar, when he asked General Major, is because simply it is an automatic, guilt in your eye? Okay, if this general is surrounded by those outlaw people, white army, whatever you call them, and they want to take his life, don't you see it's not worth it for him to say that, in order to avoid, the killing, I want you to surrender because at the end of the day, we will get you from there? Why don't you see it from that point of view? Riek Machar actually don't want General.
Let me question you, from there,
let
brother.
me finish. When you got me here.
No. But you got an opportunity, my brother, because that window now.
Please.
No, the enemy, no, because how will Major now surrender to the IO that is not attacking the Borak or whatever the garrison? How will you penetrate in the enemy that is killing you unless an IO was the one attacking him? And then you ask to surrender. And that now, what is the judgment of you here? Somebody attacking you and say you surrender to somebody that is in a New York side. Is just watching the sound of gun, but is not in the battlefield. How will you surrender to that area, your brother John Cor? Can you not read between the line here?
No,
how will Majur surrender to IO when IO is not the one attacking him?
Listen to me. Riek Machar would have been held accountable 100%. It would have been held accountable 100% if General Major, if he is able to talk to White Army and say, hey, do not kill him. Okay, and he talked to listen, let me finish.
I'm a moderator, I just want to give you something to talk of too. It's just a question.
Let me finish. You guys are disrupting. You are not allowing me to finish my thought.
John Cormaita Yan as or like Matamatazel Tayan.
I might Dr. Okoy, Kalulina come with a fitra. But you guys come.
I cannot kill them.
Gentlemen, and also I want to remind you guys we are live on YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. I cannot kill them out there, John Cor. You seem to be focusing on 1991. For some reason, you are avoiding Michael Tanazar. Michael Tanazar, Riek Machar is charged with treason, crime against humanity, and more the Kalam 1991. But according to you, the Michael 1991. Now 1991, it was a rebellion. Michael Tanazar faction, Matorit faction. Lama Kolkan Nimrinen, but Riek Machar. How did this become a new issue? Masal Bakir. Le Lama Kola Murta Fijuba. O mind why Michael about 1991. Man Naskan Nazakan Kutar fi 1991. Why did it become pockets with Riek Machar, Manuel Kev, Masal Bakir?
Dr. Okun, and this is the point that I was making. In always Riek Machar is a scapegoat for Salva Kiir to remain in power. Riek Machar is a unifying factor. هو دايما قاسم مشترك بواحد جين لانه كير دايما بيذكر ناس ل 1991 ده زول اللي عمل كده وده زول اللي عمل كده, and now he will come and he will do more damage and he will do this, right? This is what I'm trying always to remind people, but people don't understand this.
What are you saying? Are you saying that Nas can Katalu Dengal can Katalu 1991 Nas Maya Kalam few colors?
نو الناس يتكلم فيه، انا ما رفضت الناس ما يتكلم فيه، لكن انا داير اذكر ناس بانه انا قبل ذكرت لك انه الناس اللي اتقتلوا في جنوب السودان في زمن بتاع الاندبندنت، ونازل حتى الناس اللي قتلوا اثنيكلي الكوميونتي بلان بيجي بيقتلوا الكوميونتي بلان، في ناس سلفا كير عمل اوردر للجوديشال وزيره العدل عشان يمشي يجيب ناس زي كلهم ويجي يعملوا بارسكوت. حصل كلام زي ده، حصل كلام ده في واراب، حصل كلام ده في نورثرن اباناي، حصل كلام ده في جنجولي، حصل كلام ده في اكواتوريا، ولا حصل كلام ده في ليج ستيت اللي كان كوميونتي بيقتلوا انفسهم؟ حصل سلفا كير عمل اوردر انه لازم نعمل بارسكوت الناس اللي بيقتلوا الناس دي. دقيقه خلينا نكمل بليز. If you don't mind continue, I can go. It seems like when I'm bringing the facts, it becomes more spicy and you guys don't like it.
No,
you know?
if you don't handle the conversation.
No, I handle the conversation well more. I respect you, my friend.
Yeah, because even Jonkor.
انتوا ما دايرين نكمل هذا الفكره لانه السؤال بتاع زول ده هنعمل انسر.
Why do you feel like in Raj as if something is going to expire? After 10 hours finish, we can give you more chance.
No, انا ما قلت لك قبل انا عيال، انا المفروض اصلا كان نعمل شو. I supposed to do a show, لكن انا عندي issues you know في يعني you know that's why the doctor told me that to take it easy. لكن السؤال انتوا كتبتوه ده سؤال very important. That's why I have to come in. ما ممكن نسكت زمن طويل ده بس عشان انا عيان. I don't know why you guys don't want to give me this chance, you know.
You have been given a chance. Logina honestly, after that, I get Mutakar, open us job and we recognize your health condition. We give you a chance now. Honestly speaking, in this room here, you came after so many people.
Give me 2 minutes or 3 minutes now, and then I'll finish up. Is that okay?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So كلام أنا قاعد أقوله كله يا دكتور أوكن ويا أستاذ والمورانيار والناس الموجودين في الروم. يا جماعة نحن لازم نفتح عيوننا ونفتح قلوبنا، لأن President Kiir has been playing a big game للجنوبيين ولمونجان وللناس كله، لكن احنا sometimes we don't see this. And this is what I'm saying. ده السبب اللي خلاني أذكركم كلام اللي قاله الدكتور هنا جان ماكور إنه مثلا تبقى وطني وتبقى قبلي، الاثنين ما بيمشوا مع بعض. You either تبقى وطني أو تبقى شنو؟ تبقى قبلي. These two things cannot go together. فأنا ذكرت لكم النقاط الأساسية، قلت لك الكوميونتي الشاكل في جنوب السودان كله ما حصل مرة جابهم شنو في العدالة، ما جابهم في كود جاستس. ليه؟ لأنه ما بيهمه، لكن عشان القضية ده قضية سياسية بيهمه، لأنه he want to pivot way لبنته ولا لولده whatever من family بتاعه. That's why هذا موضوع رياض مشار لازم يعمل له elimination. ما عشان أنا قاعد أقول إن الناس القتالون في ناصر ده ما أبطال وما شرفاء للبلد. أنا أعرفهم وزي جنوبيين اللي قتلوا الجيش الشعبي اللي قتلوا كله في everywhere in the country. They are our compatriots. They are our soldiers. You know they are. لكن أنا داير أوريكم بلان بتاع الرئيس بكير ميار what he is trying to achieve. عشان كده أنا جبت لكم hybrid court قبل، لأنه هو ما داير يعمل implement a peace agreement. He is the one that has been keeping. If you want to get rid of Riek Machar, why don't you get rid of him through a free and fair election? لكن he knows لأنه لو win election he cannot win, or Riek Machar cannot win. Somebody will win election if it's free and fair. Like this is not what he's interested. He's interested to bring member of his family to the power, and in order to do that, he has to silence his political opponent. And to silence his political opponent, he has to link this with the atrocity. وعشان كده to answer أنا كلام اللي قاله لي my brother called قبل قال لي يا أخي why would you think بس الزول يسرند للانمي بتاعه؟ أنا وريتكم كلام قبل، أنا قلت لكم عشان أنا to hell رياض مشار accountable 100%. لو كان مثلا جنرال ماجور مثلا سلم مثلا للجيش بتاع ايو في ناصر، أنا جون كوريا وجيش اس بي ال ام ايو ماشي قتل جنرال ماجور، I will hell رياض مشار 100% accountable. I will hold him accountable. لأنه هو بيكون مسؤول. لأنه أساسا right now رياض مشار كان ميجا argument يا جماعة أنا ما داير زول عشان يموت، عشان كده أنا قلت يا أخي يسلم لنا ل my soldiers. That's what I want, because there's a lot of white army there out of control, out of law. They can do whatever they want to do. They took it in their hand and they wanted to do what they wanted to do. That is argument that can be made. So you can give somebody the benefit of the doubt.
Do you know white army really?
Yeah.
And if we listen to Riek Machar, well, let's say Riek is released and become a president, do you think that Salva Kiir and people like us will not take arm too? And then we demand that hybrid court.
I did not say that Riek Machar.
why would we rely on foreigners?
I'm not going to become president. What I'm
No,
saying is,
no,
I'm giving you the scenario.
Let me learn it so that you can understand. Let me learn so that you can understand. If we have now seek hybrid courts, everybody in South Sudan will seek for hybrid court for 100 years. No one will believe if you rule or Riek rule or whoever rules, we will say, no, we don't accept your rule. We don't accept the constitution of the country. We must rely on foreigners. Hybrid court.
No, not foreign. This is something that you
because
sign on. You sign on.
Foreign courts. Hybrid court.
You know, Tonta, this is a tragedy here.
My President Kiir have agreed.
Jonkor. Tonta, don't let this Jonkor manipulate the situation. Jonkor.
I did not, my brother.
No, you are. Let me prove to you. Give me a chance in the way we give you a chance to make your point. Model hybrid court, I know it in as opposition, and those of you who are opposed to the ongoing trial, you've been talking about this hybrid court. This hybrid court, Mafi Junubi, Masmo Yamulo, based on the RRC. Neither President Kiir or Dr. Riek or you or me. The hybrid court was supposed to be established by the African Union Commission. Malu, why is it this very hard? Go to chapter 5, go to article 5.3, go to section 5.3.1.1 and read it for yourself. Hybrid court, why are we allowing?
But it has to get blessing from secretary two principles.
No,
yes.
No, wrong. And I challenge you.
It's not wrong.
Galas, make it easy on yourself. Go and bring where it says that it has to get a blessing from the two principles, the RRC. Where is it at? I want you to teach me. Instead of focusing on African Union and how much African Union fool us, we want to use the failure of African Union to come and give ourselves a headache. Doesn't make any sense at all. I have.
So now you don't believe this court is politically motivated?
It is not political. It's a criminal.
Oh, okay. If it's not,
government,
why those who were killed in communal violence were not brought to justice? Why?
You did not like it when we were asking you while you were talking. You the one who complained. Now, if you want to license us to do that, get ready for interruption later on when we give you a chance again.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Okay. This court here is called a special court for a reason. Why communal crime are being done? Who told you? Who told you that other cases are not being tried in South Sudan? Where did you get that from? Even in Lagos State, where I come from, cases are being handled now, and all kind of laws are being applied in the matter of Lagos State communal conflict. From the customary laws to the statutory laws are being applied now. Who told you that the rest of the cases are not being tried? Definitely it is true. There is no single country that I know in the world here that can handle all the criminal cases all at once, even in America. As a matter of fact, some of the criminal cases can even be classified as coal. But this is not the only trial that the Republic of South Sudan is conducting now. That is an exaggeration. That doesn't make sense at all. We really need to focus. As opposition, we are going now on the path of legalism in our country. And this should be something, it should be exciting news to all of us. Finally, the government of South Sudan is upholding the rule of law. That's a beautiful thing. Dr. Riek is assumed innocent, let him go and prove himself innocent in the court of law. Whoever accused him of being guilty, let him be proved guilty in the court of law. But why are we exhausting ourselves with things that it is that hybrid card? You should be angry. We all should be angry at the African Union.
Last point.
African Union agreed, yes, African Union agreed to establish the hybrid court for South Sudanese people. And so far, let us down. Especially in as a position that you come and make it sound like Canada logically نفس حكومة يمكن يكون متهم في hybrid court. بقدر يدوس صلاحيات كيف عشان يأسس الهايبريد court. How does it make sense?
Last point, my brother.
President Kiir were to rise up today, if President Kiir were to rise up a little day, and finance the hybrid court, in the John Kurde, you will be the one who will come and make the show. Utaguliake hybrid court is not fair. Why? It was established by President Kiir and it was financed by President Kiir. Therefore, the judges there will speak in the way President Kiir wanted.
Like Ugandan army, they complain about Uganda.
Like the Ugandan army. President Kiir, stay away from Hajabukula hybrid card. Omai no Aslan, you were not even allowed, President Kiir is not even expected to participate in the establishment of that court. If African Union fell on it, and we Genovian don't want to open our eyes, we don't want to read and challenge the African Union, then it's our own stupidity.
Okay, one more on your last point, and I'm ready to go, my brother. What I want to say at the end of the day, this is a political motivated case, right? Let me finish this thought, and I bet you will come to this conclusion, because I have been watching. President Kiir is our president. I'm a South Sudanese, by birth, not by naturalized. Okay, and I know exactly what is happening in the country. The cases that I was talking about, you know it, and I know it, and all the rest of the country know it. He never took a bold decision to prosecute the wrongdoing, whether the criminal cases, people are being killed through national security, or corruption cases, or you name them. They are not being prosecuted in the country. At the end of the day, issue of Riek Machar, the reason he moved forward with it, because he's unified in fact that for the young to support him, so he can pivot the way for his daughter to be a successor. But at the end, this is what is going to happen. President Kiir always, when he's giving pressure, it will change his mind. You remember the 10 state and 28 state and 32, it says, when it was pressure, at the end of the day, you need a backup. I bet, I'm telling you this, at the end of the day, he's the one that ordered Riek Machar to be persecuted, but he will look for somebody to blame. He is going to pardon Riek Machar. Watch what I'm saying. He will pardon Riek Machar at the end of the day, and he will blame it on Bolmel. Okay, thank you. I think I'm done.
To go to South Sudan.
I want to say something to Jonkor. Can you let him?
Yeah. So.
Been waiting.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dr. Tonanyuak, go ahead. Yeah, take.
Thank you, Patrick. Well, Moranya, thank you for this. And Brother Jonkor, you were debating that the establishment of hybrid court was not the jurisdiction and mandate of the African Union. And I think perhaps you're reading from a different book. If you have read the R-Access in and out, either twice or thrice, I think you'll not be here debating and trying to throw a lot of balls towards the government. As Wal Moranyar said, and I think it's good to debate when you know laws and you understand things properly, not just from the outer surface, just for the purpose of knowing how to speak English, and then you begin to bring your point. That does not work. Let me try to make you understand this very clear, Jonkor. The establishment of hybrid court for South Sudan, known as the HCSS, Article 5.3.1.1, there shall be established an independent hybrid judicial court, the hybrid court for South Sudan. The court shall be established by the African Union Commission to investigate and, where necessary, prosecute individuals bearing responsibility for violation of international law and or applicable South Sudan law, either using the international law, and I want to re-emphasize this for some of you who are making noise here every day, okay? Where necessary, prosecute individuals bearing responsibility for violation of international law and or applicable South Sudan law. We have laws in South Sudan and committed from September 2013 through the end of the transitional period. So the transitional period is still ongoing. Article 5.3.1.2, the terms establishing the HCSS, in this case, the hybrid court of South Sudan, shall conform to the terms of the agreement, and the African Union shall provide broad guidelines relating to including the location of the HCSS. The location of this hybrid court should be in South Sudan, and it's African Union that will decide. Its infrastructure, funding mechanism, enforcement mechanism, the applicable jurisprudence, number and composition of judges, privileges and immunities of the court, personnel, or any other related matters. I will stop here. But in Article 5.3.1.1, as said, that international laws, including the South Sudan laws. I just want to stop here because you see, sometimes our problem is when you are having a lack of understanding of politics, you'd begin to mix politics and opinion. And then you find somebody to use, okay? You'll find someone within the government or out of the government, you begin to throw your frustration at that person. It does not work like that. But if you know laws, whether Riek Machar is acquitted, whether he's made to work free, but the establishment of the special court, it's solely under the jurisdiction, and our constitution provides for that space. Let me give it back to you, Patrick. I was trying to correct John Kor, I came in and I know he has been making quite a lot of announcement on the forum. I just want him to understand these basics. Thank you.
Patrick, let me squeeze in 2 minutes or 1 minute for
take
John
1
Kor.
minute.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, John Kor, I think if you understand the word hybrid, if we select hybrid code, because this would be foreigners, right? What if it turn out to be agents, either agents for Kiir or agents for Riek Machar, and they will turn the court into the directions of their agents' interest? Who will be blamed? Whom will you blame? So it is good that the country make the decisions and have their own court, so that whom you think that is mistaken is judge it, then it has to remain in the record for our children or for the future of the young generation to come in that and study that archive. That how did we go wrong here? Because you people of South Sudanese, you rely on foreigners to control our country. It doesn't really make sense. As Tony Young mentioned that when mixing opinion and the realities of the politics, then you confuse yourself. You don't even know people in your own yard. Believe me, brother. We have to calm down. One lady, when I was there from Gong Machar, major general, a major guy that call and say, my kids,
listen,
go and talk to my wife.
The country is not based on emotional. It's not based on emotion. It's not based on because we are from the same county.
You in your sense, if people asking you that, they were soldiers of the SPDF, called by Riek, and then give them a task, a mission to go and kill people in Nasser by leading white armies. And you are stepping in here to defend that Riek is a political and all of this. You don't even know the genocide that Riek Machar caused. And you don't even understand the mayors of Juba Sudan is under foreigners, the agents that are sent there to mess up the country just to control hegemony. I think you use that word many times, hegemony. Why would you like to be ruled by Kenya, to be ruled by another country? And yet you are a man. If I rule your family now, would you agree?
Akol, it's not me want to be ruled by foreigners. It's the same. Listen. It's the same. Anyway, your boss relying on Museveni. Are you going to say that Salva Kiir is not relying on Museveni in every
my
advice?
boss did not bring lawyers from Uganda.
Please,
I want to respond to the brother, the one that say that if you speak English, you cannot just jump and make an argument and think that you know something. Well, I don't know anything. Listen, into Maden,
give other people like that. What is it? If you respond to every single thing that
the guy said that not everybody speak English can just come and speak, but it's not based on the language. What we do is based on merit. When I speak, and I speak based on merit. Okay, you need to understand the Tonanya, the one that think that is a professor of the law. Right?
Jonkor, what I want, we want you to talk, but you also have a consideration the next and might Kalamo brother. That's all I'm asking for. It's not that look, you two of you are one of you are one on one, or three of us, you will be responding. Like you can look at
everybody. When I said the factors, when I said the thing that makes sense, everybody just start rising up, and they don't want to hear it. Even now, my brother call is become more emotional talking about the county that we are coming from.
Jonkor, you are mistaken me, man. I have ever talked to you.
No, that's not you. I'm sorry. That's the other guy.
Let's if we don't keep a peace in the room, this room is going to be noisy. Jonkor, even the rest of the people who have not actually talked, indum right to Kalamak. Lakin asbaru and respected your space. It doesn't mean that they didn't have opinion in what you were saying or what I was saying. Lakin lo amano, like all of us open mic at the same time. Muna ya famuno. And as Jehovah Witness in the church of whatever because common machine law. So I guess law. Maybe whenever two people or three people speak, give him a chance to respond. If he is going to be here with us for a long time, because he's the only person in the room so far that has a different opinion from majority of us. So yes, it would not be fair for 5 people to speak and then we come and give him 2 minutes. That's the way I look at it. Back to you, Patrick.
Let me put my thought.
أقول one more anyar. ده أقول شنو يا brother جونكور والناس اللي في المنصة من مبدأ بتاع الاحترام الحوار هو الأخلاق كيف نحترم بعض أول شيء لما زول يكون عنده سؤال ريسبون أنت تنتظر أنا مستعجلين لشنو لو في زول مستعجل خليه يمشي لو أنا ما مستعجلين خلينا نقعد عندنا لسه سايد يعني عندنا تايم كبير وبعدين كده ندي روح كده الروح بتاع الحوار ذاته روح الحوار ده المبدأ الأساسي هل نحن مستعدين نتحاور ولا عايزين نعمل هرجلة بس لو مستعدين معناه نستمع لأنه بقول شنو فهم السؤال نصف الإجابة لما أنا أقطع كلامك وتقطع كلامي ده جونكور ما احترامنا لك وسعيدين تكون معنا هل عندك استطاع تتحمل كل الأسئلة ولا ما عندك لو ما عندك أمشي لو عندك معناه يتحمل عشان برضو ناس يحاوروك ناس يستمعوا لك وناس يسألوك ولا في غلط هنا لو ما في غلط هنا معناه انت كده يتحمل لو عندك صحتك كويس ونتمنى ان شاء الله تكون فول بريفكت في ناس برضو يعني انت هتواجه اسئله وبعدين لازم كمان نختلف اختلاف الراي الاخر برضو كمان جزء من الحوار يعني كده
معلش
ندي
please.
Yeah, سؤال بتاع
guys, this is not a Jonkor topic. Anyway, we just now derail from topic. Let some of us that want to talk about topic talk, and then you with Jonkor. If Jonkor become a subject of the room, then some of you will talk with him. Yeah. But some of us we've been waiting here. Even he bypass me to talk.
Call please, loud.
Okay, call. I give you your chance. كده شيل الفرصة بتاعك وبعدين نرجع المسافة ده بعد جونكور you wait عشان الناس برضو يتحاوروا معك الأسئلة كله عندك. أقول take your time.
Yeah, sorry for the room, Madin Majak. What I was just trying to tell Brother Jonkor was not a disrespect to him, but when it's a topic is here, you have to have an opinion and then have your own trajectories or whatever you want to bring in. What I have just seen now is a frustration and hatred or something you feel bad that the leadership is not doing in the country. And those things, when he has a platform, and that's what I suggest before. Anyway, it now become now is the one dominating the room now, and everybody wants to talk to him, and he had to respond, which is right. And therefore, then some of us sitting in the line, we better also have this other thing to do. Anyway, greeting to all of you. And will President Kiir pardon Dr. Machar if he's found guilty or not? Yes, this is some kind of a hypothetical analysis that we are doing here now. We are assuming whether the man is going to be acquitted or found guilty. And the president, as Dual Moranyar has mentioned earlier, has some clause in the law. A head of a state do have power sometimes to pardon.
Please, one more mute. Your mic is on. One more. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right. So a president do have, a window to listen to the verdict of what the judge, the court. He will not even interfere in the proceeding, like what is taking place now. I don't think you will have anything even to comment on it. You see? Yes, each one of us here is entitled to your opinion and the feeling you think. That is the man putting this person in, trying this person, and he would be like this. That is your own opinion. But what we do know is this. Given the atrocities that has taken place at the time, and the interaction, which is communication, and the people that are associated with his forces or his government, having been found there, whether deceased or wounded or still commanding, the man is completely was in coordination with the event of Nasser. And that's why the special court has been instituted in South Sudan to try that case. Well, majority of us will come with different set of mind. You can just ruin it, to think you can twist the mind of others to have sympathy of the man. To me, even there was a topic, I think it was a social media that posted the other day or a different room where it said whether it will be, yes, it was a national interest room where we even met with Honorable Waldau. And the same tone that John Core is coming in now with the tone of Honorable Waldau too in the interest room. And I think Tontat also have some kind of, exchange, you see. Well, what I just want to put online here is this. Majority of Dinka politician or opposition, they always think those of us who have no platform, oppositions or things like we are just invaded with Salva Kiir. And then Dinka is the only, see Salva Kiir is their mother and father, and after of Salva Kiir, Dinka will vanish in South Sudan face. This is the wrong reading to all of you as an oppositions. Because even you, the opposition, if I may just want to throw, it's not in any direct of any opposition, any Dinka opposition. Are you respected in your opposition parties? Are you collaborating with other opposition? And what are your objectives? If not individuals, just Salva Kiir is a problem. Salva Kiir is a problem. Okay, you, the opposition in the bush now, what is the alternative that we can upset Salva Kiir? Because you have to sell yourself to the people of South Sudan, not Salva Kiir. But all opposition, what you heard, is Salva Kiir is destroying. They never blame Riek Machar since day one. And even sometimes they put them in the same scale. Yes, Salva Kiir failed to govern. How will you govern when everybody is against you? I don't know who among us here can govern in an environment everybody took AK-47 and went to the bush fighting your government. And at the same time, you are talking to have a delivery, service delivery and development and road construction and all that. And you are all in the bush fighting the same system. And when we see the opposition, what are the systems they want to bring us? Nothing. They are all in pockets. They are all in a camp like they are fishing, what we call the fishing camp. That's how the opposition in South Sudan is looked today. And so, coming to your topic, Brother Madi, yes, Salva Kiir, myself.
Can I have an interjection?
بس دقيقة دكتور مدود أنا جيت بس دقيقة.
درس على كل سؤال بالنسبة له هو.
عشان بس نقدر نمرر اللاين لو كده هيجيف. خليه يكمل معلش. لما نكمل ممكن تديه سؤالك بكون ممكن ده انتهى خلاص. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Thank you, Brother Patrick. And Dr. Madud, I will be waiting for you. Thank you. Here's what I want to just say. If you see now the situation of our country all along, people are just measuring the situation of frustration, out of frustration. And we do know that everybody is frustrated. But if we want to encourage stubbornness and disturbances of our, stability of our nation by really rallying behind somebody that has all along want to divide us, want to destroy us, and at the same time, you are just there and you are not supporting it. You know what pained me is when I see opposition, Jim, and they are not in the camp of IO of Riek Machar. And they talk as if they are in the camp of IO. Really, it completely faints me off. Because you suppose if you see this man has something to offer the people of South Sudan, you could have been boring in, and your people would have, because it go one time, one person can go, your supporter will follow you, like the way South Eagle Media have fans. If South Eagle Media now make a fundraising now, all those who attend South Eagle Media will be able to donate into that. That is what you do in politics. Out there, and then only blaming a system that did coming as you know on the shore. So for Salva Kiir, and here's why. Because Salva Kiir, since he assumed power, he has never to try to clear way. That is a lie. Even me, I even say Salva Kiir has made him to be a subject of everybody being bullied, and we are being killed across the land. And when you find opposition here, they are even coming and even try even to inflict a wound that has been caused in our hearts by all other tribe opposition killing our innocent, while Jeng is not having a militia killing other innocent. What are they calling militia? It's the Jeng that has been left during liberation, and today defending constitution is what opposition Jeng are calling. These are Dinga like because of the language of Honorable when he said those killing Nasser were all Jeng, and that's why the SSPDF is seen as Jeng. Do we contribute to join the army, or is your making? Is your choice? One tribe can defend the country.
They were put to one Equatorian.
One tribe. No, but that is the decision of the opposition. Jeng say, because to make every other, to emphasize what the opposition all will say, that the army is Jeng, the government is Jeng, all civil institution is Jeng, and then these opposition Jeng are coming to affirm it, and they are not doing a thing to reverse that. And who are they blaming? It's some of us who said we want to see a stable South Sudan. And so my brother, South Eagle Media platform, yes, here is a man that has not shown of how to lead a country. Because leading a country, you have to kill, you have to imprison. And that's how you really apply the laws of a country. There is no anybody here, whether opposition or some of us here, that will say a country is stable because you just given a candies to those who try to bring a problem. It never happened. Even these developed nations of 200 plus years, they are dying everywhere. So I know Kiir has led South Sudan with fear and appeasement, and that it has become a business of the day now in South Sudan. Everybody can go to bush tomorrow, will come and get a ministry for the follow, like as you said before, that those who really were proud of killing, like him, the first vice president now that everybody rallying behind him, he was proudly saying that he annihilated the soldiers of Garang at the time in Bor. Little did you know that it was the civil population. Now, is Bor not a problem now in Equatoria? And what was the making of that? But that's not what we're talking today. His result has caused another problem now in another region. And the same people are the one coming and say, this is a Malaika and Salva Kiir is the devil. Yes, Salva Kiir failed to govern us, but you cannot compare a man that has not really recruited to destroy South Sudan. But the man that has determined to destroy South Sudan, because in this world, in this universe, you have to be brutal for people to fear. And that's what Riek Machar has instituted in the mind of people. And that's why you see everybody is now, they are talking of fear, not because Riek Machar is right. So anyway, let court take its own course. Whatever the result come out, I do know, as somebody mentioned before, I think the world, that 70 years old or 65 plus and above will not be put to death, raw, nor whatever. He will just either just live in his own compound or life imprisonment. But it will not, just be killed because he's already there. So what's the need? And even to me, even I said life imprisonment, it's not even equivalent to Riek Machar, because Riek Machar has done a lot in his youth life up till today. So there is nothing left for him to be just finished. The good thing is, the thing that barred him, but still, that is the problem now. Why you barred him? He had to be in the politics scene, but he had to be removed from political scene because that's what he's now. He don't play a politics well, and he has never been a man of a well of politics. But because of the love of the community in which he hailed from, and the fear he has inflicted to neighborhood, that's why the man is still current. And we assume to be a giant in political landscape, but the man is not. With that, Patrick, thank you. But also, Brother Jonko, sometimes our frustration not bomb it out in a one platform. And that's why I was interrupting and said, you have a platform. Sometimes you will have a platform where we can negotiate all this you said. One thing is, communal is not for president. You have governors, you have commissioners, you have Payam administrators and all that. And if you blame anything taking place in every, that is the failure. It's not, because even if you become a president of South Sudan today, I don't know, John Mayol, how will you execute all the way to Payams? This is the problem. But you say, just to be a selective thing. And you know, Menejeng has been completely annihilated. How is Riek Machar case now become selective in your opinion? This is a political fear that let not do this because Jeng will be look like this. And this is the encouragement you are now given to White Army. And if that one, if the law of the country cannot uphold, then we are done. With that, I yield back, Brother Patrick. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Akala Call. We are glad to have you in the room. The people who open down there, Nihna Soda, Wujud Kumana, for Warfa South Sudan Eagle Media. Madid Mijagrum Sukran, Nahayig Maratani, Big Mounty, Wal Moranyar, Ibrahim Traore, Dr. Ukuin, Brother Akala Call, and Wal Akot, and Dr. Newell, and Angelo Garang. Professor Atim Kunjok, Abu Malik, and Dr. Madut. I think Dr. Madut kind of interject here. We give you 1 minute to interject a call. Open your mic, Dr. Madut.
My brother Patrick, you see, I have two questions, one in Dinka language and other in English. To brother Akol, we belagin, it is all the Pomonja. I think you believe in Gulin, I can live to know they are William because we are bigger than that. So, it's a problem. There are another question in English. So, I want to ask you personally, what do you actually have to offer right now? What do you have to offer to people of South Sudan if you get a chance to be a part of regime?
Brother Patrick, are you expecting me to respond immediately or what?
Yeah, respond, yeah. Go ahead. 1 minute, yeah.
I did not catch what he said in Tongjang, but he said, what do I have to offer now if I get chance, or what did he say?
Can you repeat it, Dr. Madut?
Yeah, all of these are so irrelevant to the topic here. Whether Moldova, they don't know we are William, we are this and that.
Okay, and then roll the line, Brother Patrick. Yeah, thank you.
Is completely irrelevant, brother.
Shukran. I think Shukran, Dr. Madut, Shukran, Akala called that it's chance for Ibrahim Traore. Then we move the line. Ibrahim Traore. Ibrahim Traore is your turn. And a deacon Misa, Ibrahim Traore. ممكن دكتور مدود نسحب السؤال بتاعك بعدين تاني تعيده من جديد. إبراهيم تراور, are you there? Okay. Dr. Newell?
Yes, I was as part of the work team.
Yeah. It's your turn. Take 7 minutes. Yeah.
تسلم. بس لكن كان في الناس قبلي يعني كلهم تكلموا ولا أبو مالك كان قبلي يعني.
Abu Malik.
I was before all of you guys. I was before Abu Malik.
كنا عاديين يعني أنا جيت قدام عشان أدوني.
أنت فوق طوالي كده واللاين اختلف مني هنا. أبو مالك أنجلو يوم قدامكم كله.
أوكي أجي الناس أجي أنجلو وأبو مالك والناس الجو أول من يتكلم بجي بعدين.
يا دكتور نيول في جنوب السودان وده قاعد بيشيل له بسكت مالك اظن
لكن الحوار جميل عشان
انجلو يصير فرصه بتاعك، تفضل فرصه لانجلو بعدك ابو مالك لان نمشي لدكتور نيول.
استاذ باتريك روم ده بيجي politically selective ولا كيف؟ Go ahead.
لا يا بروفيسور تيم جنجو كده عشان ما نعطل براد انجلو. انجلو دي الفرصه بتاعك، تفضل نديك المساحه، شيل 7 دقائق بتاعك.
شكرا دكتور نيول. Actually, Dr. Newell is one that following the line. So actually, عاوز بيجي مشكلة في جنوب السودان. لأنه if people don't know you, maybe they would ignore your line. لكن معلش أنا I have been away for about 4 months.
For interruption, welcome back and greet you. Go ahead, yeah.
Thank you. I have been in South Sudan for 4 months. I was actually in Juba on Monday when the special court for Dr. Riek Machar started. I was there on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Salam, brother Archangelo, welcome back. Angelo, welcome back. Are you part of the problem with Ajinub, or are you part of the solution? Go ahead.
Shukran. Thank you, brother Kunjab. My greeting to all of you, and my greeting to South Sudan Eagle Media for very interesting question. Will President Kiir pardon Dr. Riek Machar if he is found guilty or not? I'm so happy for this question. I know Dr. Machar Lisama is not found guilty yet, even though the accusations are very clear. We all know, people are still the argument is still now about legitimacy of the special court, whether this special court can fight Dr. Riek Machar or not. And Haja Ajib, something that happened on Monday, I think it was indication to all South Sudanese. It's indication. Lanu, many South Sudanese don't know the difference between a special court and hybrid court. Hybrid court, according to the transitional, to the agreement, will be established by African Union to try those who committed atrocities from 2013 to the end of the transition period. The special court is a court to fight the first vice president, Dr. Riek Machar, who organized the White Army and the SPLM-IO to attack the government soldiers in Nasser while he was a sitting first vice president in the office. The special court. The argument by the judges, by the lawyers on Monday was actually it was a very educational. From the immunity, whether the fact the first vice president has no immunity. The immunity in Article 2 was educational. And coming back to your question, Brother Medic.
103, not 2. 103 of the South Sudan. Continue. I
Yes.
know what you mean. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. Because it was very educational. Coming to your question, Brother Medit, many South Sudanese know in their mind that the first vice president must be indicted or prosecuted. And the sake of unity, for the sake of for the sake of peace, for the sake of everything, President Kiir might pardon Riek Machar. After he got persecuted, after the law, the rule of law, found him guilty. He might not. We don't know yet. But we say he might because we saw what happened to James Gadet when he was sentenced to life in prison. President Kiir pardoned him. So that could happen too, but we don't know. For those who argue that this special court is a political persecution, I think they are wrong, because it has nothing to do with politics. It is a special court for the vice president who committed crime against the people of South Sudan while he was sitting vice president, first vice president. He was coordinating, and the evidence are very clear. Even we all should wait and see when the evidence are presented in the court. I'm sure we will see the first vice president coordinating, talking on the phone, on the satellite, even the others minister too. We will see. And based on those evidence, I think we can say whether Dr. Machar will be indicted or will be found guilty or not. But I think now it's too early to predict. And it's too early to say that Dr. Machar is innocent while we are still waiting for evidence. I think that's all I can say. And and I want to say to moderators that you guys are, I think you guys have given Jonkor a lot of time. You should have just make him to complete his statement, and one of you should just answer his statement instead of everybody asking him questions. I think that's all I can say. I will stop here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, brother Angelo. Garab is left. Jonkor Jama Marit Choya. هو شوية لكن ما أعرف ظروفه ممكن to come back again. لو رجع بعدين نديه مساحة تانية فرصة. يا شكرا الناس في المنصة فوق. شكرا مليك من جاك ساوث سودان نيجل ميديا. I think فرصة لأبو مالك. أبو مالك يا أخي تفضل. سعيدين كمان تكون معنا في الغرفة. تفضل.
والله تحياتي لك يا باتريك يا أخي. إن شاء الله صوته واضح يا جماعة.
It's very clear يا أبو مالك يا أخي. أنا نحييك يا أخي. تحية لي.
أنا تحياتي لك يا باتريك وتحياتي للناس الشعلين كدين كلهم وتحية خاصة لمديد وبرضه تحية خاصة برضه لوالمورا نيار يعني. بالمناسبة يعني روم جميل والنقاشات تمت برضه نقاشات كويسة يعني. ده very good. بس انا بس اقدر اقول بس فقط هو انه دائما اخواننا لما نكون في سياسي في روم والسياسه ده يعني هو سياسي مثلا يعني نقول مشاق مثلا يعني او very controversial politician. ده بس هو انه انتوا كمودريتورز تخلوا مع زول واحد بس لانه كل ما انه everyone has a need to interject and want to ask a question. You will turn the entire room and make it about him. شفتها؟ ودي خطأ طبعا. انا دائما يعني بنقع فيها. لكن for the most part نقاش مش كويس يعني. It is a very good discussion. I did enjoy it يعني. طيب بالنسبه للتوبيك المطروح يعني، انا بالمناسبه شفتها في قضيه بتاعت دكتور رياك ومجموعه معه. انا بالمناسبه يعني انا مبسوط انه فاينل اننا كدوله بقينا انه نحن نتجه الى انه نحل مشاكلنا عن طريق القانون يعني. لانه زمان للاسف علينا لو كان زمان كان جبت بعد طوالي بعد مشاكل بتاعت بتاعت ناصر كان طوالي نيران والله وابرياء ماتوا وخلاص يعني كان هيكون حرب شامل يعني. شفتها. لكن the good thing this time نحن كدوله عملنا ضبط النفس وقلنا يا اخي نحن كده دور ده نقوم نجيب قانون يعني. شفتها. وهسه انا متاكد جبتها من الليل اللي قدام او بعد ما قضيتي تنتهي كل القضايا ان شاء الله هتحل عن طريق المحكمه يعني. وشوف انا والله جد يعني انا واحد من ضمن الناس انا داير المحكمه ده يعني. I just want all the facts to lead us into either انه يا اخي زول ده he got acquitted or he's convicted يعني. شفتها. عداله بس يعني. انا شخصيا ده انا داير عداله بس ياخذ مجراه بس. شفتها. I don't care هو طلب براه ولا هو حكمه مثلا حسب القانون. I don't care. I just want justice. شفت العداله ده شفت يقوم. طيب انا قبل نكون بتمنى انه لاك جونكور يكون قاعد يكون صبر يقول مع الناس في روم لان كلنا يعني صبرنا يعني كلنا قصدا يعني. انا شاكر شديد للناس زي ناس انجلو جرام وبروفيسور اتيم كنجوك. everybody was quiet يعني. زول فتح معي كده عشان يعمل ارجله ما في. we were all quiet وعملنا فاير زي ما يعني بعض الناس لما كان فاير لكن عملنا ضبط النفس وسكتنا يعني وقلنا انه نحترم الروم يعني. لكن اننا نكون عايزين انه برادر جانكور يكون قاعد في الروم عشان برضه زي ما اننا سمعنا له وبرضه ما نسمع لنا برضه. شوف في 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 حجج اللي بتقول انه يا اخي انه the government is very selective. شوف انت عارف شو ده في يعني في العالم كله حتى في امريكا هنا كويس. الحكومه دائما والجاستس سيستم دائما all of them they are selective يعني. وانا بديك مثل يعني. انت تتذكر يا برادر وال زمان كان في قضيه بتاع فاني ماي وفريدي ماي وقضايا بتاع وول ستريت بتاع بنكس كويس. الناس دي لما ودوا محاكم كلهم زول فيهم كده حكموا ما في. لكن لما تيجي تشوف زول البسيط زول المسؤول بقضيه بتاع الدراكس قضيه بتاع شنو بتلقاه انه نازل بحكم شديد. شفتها. ففي اي دوله يعني قضايا جنائيه دي اصلا دائما بكون في يعني دراوينس لوزرز يعني. شفتها. وما هو جايينه يا اخي يقولوا يا اخي ليه بس قالوا ما كلام زي ده. Yes, we know انه في ناس عملوا دوار خراب وما كمان we know انه في قضايا كثيره. لكن لو ما ناوي يا اخي الناس القتلهم ولا القضيه حاصله يخلوه عشان انه يا اخي قبل ايام في قانون يعني ما بقى في هنا في شجر قانون بقى في زول يعني. وشوف until now اوكي نحن حاليا في مرحله انه بس فقط انه المحاكمه ماشيه. المحاكمه قاعد تاخذ اجراءات العاديه. هل المحاكمه دي ذاتها يعني هل عندها حقيه انه يبت في القضايا دي ولا لا؟ لكن بعد شويه بالذات يوم الاثنين الجاي ده واللي قدام الناس ما انه يا اخي وكيل النيابه عجيب الادله يعني لو عندها يعني كويس. وقضيه طبعا هتاكل مجراه يعني. شفتها. اخوه طبعا يعني بيزال اخوانا في هنا في المعرضه بيقولوا يا اخي المفروض انه يا اخي القضايا دي كلها تتلمى ويخطون وين؟ يخطون في الهايبريد. لا يا اخوي، قضايا اللي قالوا انه يخطون في الهايبريد ده قضايا بتاع 200، ده قضايا بتاع 2013 كويس. والزول المسؤول من كلام اخواننا حسب الاتفاقيه ده افريقيان يونيون يعني، والمسؤول من الكلام ده يعني متى ما انه جاء مزاج انه هم عايزين يعملوا يشغلوا المحكمه ده they will do it. لكن قضيه المعنيه هسه حاليا ده قضيه بتاع ناصر القريب ده كويس، ده ما عنده علاقه باتفاق السلام ذاته كويس. دي جرائم ارتكبت في هنا في ناصر. يس نانا لا حاليا انا شخصيا اول من الناس بقول يا اخي رياض مشار ورفقائه they are all innocent until proven guilty بعدين في محكمه. ده حق قانوني يعني بدون لا اي زول كويس. yes there are alleged charges وكلام زي ده ده موجود، لكن اي زول متهم دائما هو بريء لا ما يتم ادانته في المحكمه يعني. شفتها؟ فكأنه يا اخي انه والله يا اخي المحكمه دي political motivated ما كويس. انت ما في حقائق حصلت. هل في اسرى قتلهم؟ ده ولد فاكت، ده حقيقه. مجور وزملائه هم يعني في زمن ده ما خلاص ما شغله انتهى. حاجه بتاع 250 نفر قتلهم يعني. لكن الناس طبعا فضلوا and we heard their voices. Why do you kill them? who killed them, whoever order the killings زول لازم انه شنو يتعلم مسؤوليه. وده شيء اللي خلى انه يكون في محكمه الناس حاليا قاعد يتكلم عنه يعني. ده ما عنده علاقه بين بالبوليتكس. شفتها؟ وانا شايف برضه كمان يعني اخواننا في المعرضه بما انه يعني هم عندهم وقت كفايه يتكلموا عن قضايا سياسيه ويهاجموا حكومه ويهاجموا رياض مشار. هم فشلوا في انه ذاته ياخذ القضيه دي بالشغل الحقيقي اللي هي الشغل القانوني اساسا. شفتها؟ حتى انه قالوا يا اخي والله يا اخي رياض مشار ده عمل له اهانه كتب في كيك. يا اخي ذا ريزون انه يا اخي قتل رياض مشار وزملائه دول في كيك ده بس فقط لسلامه حقهم يعني. it is for the safety. لانه انت لو قضيتهم في محكمه عاليه كده ما ممكن زول يجي شايل سكين ويطعنه. وانت ذاتك انت زول المره ده you will be the first to come out and say يا اخي رياض مشار عملوا مخصوص يقعد في محكمه كده عشان يجي زول يجي يطعنه بسكين. شايف؟ عشان كده اخوانا بتاع المعرضه لما يعملوا حاجه او لما نناقش موضوع انت كده فكر فيه اول حاجه الموضوع ده عمله لمصلحه. فانا شخصيا ده انا بعرف كويس انه يا اخي قصدي انه رياض مشار وزملائه ده خدتهم في الكيك. الكلام ده كله عشان شنو؟ عشان سلامه حقهم يعني. وشوف كمان هم جايين مبسوطين بيضحكوا لابسين كرفتات شفتها وقاعدين وبس بيسلموا بعض. الكلام ده ما قاعد يحصل في العالم. ما في متهم ذات بخلوه انه يا اخي يعملوا انتراكت كده مع متهم ثاني يسلموا بعض الاذان ما في. لكن عشان احنا قلنا يا اخي احنا جنوبيين ولازم برضه كمان ورياض مشار برضه كمان زول نائب رئيس يعني انا برضه بنديه احترام يعني انه يسلم زملائه ويضحك زي ما هو داير ويلبس كرفته ويكشر ويجينا مكشر يعني في المحكمه ما فوق حاجه يصير بيج ديل يعني. فانا قاعد اشوف انه الاخوه في المعرضه المفروض انه هم they should be following the facts. خلي وكيل بعدين تجيب ادله حقها ونناقش قضيه في المحكمه. لما تنتهي بعدين من المحكمه we have all day to speculate. نقول يا اخي ده كان politically motivated ونقول كلام زي ده. طيب عشان انا اكتم كلامي في الموضوع المفروض ده اللي هو التوبيك ذاته يعني كويس يا اخوانا. طبعا دي بتقع لتقديرات بتاع الرئيس كويس. اذا فعلا انه يا اخي المحكمه ده خرى انه او وجد رغم زملائه مذنب كويس وتم ادانته وحكمه. طبعا دي بترجع لتقديرات بتاع الرئيس. يمكن هو بيشوف انه يا اخي اذا ده يعفيه ده it will bring healing to the nation. او لو هو بيشوف انه يا اخي الموضوع ده زول بيستحق انه يا اخي يمكن سجن زي ما قالوا قبل انه زول الكبير في العمر ما يعني اننا كجنوبيين يعني بنرى انه يا اخي زول لا بس يا اخي نحكمه بس وخلاص يقعد في السجن وما نوديه في المشرقه. ده برضه بيقع لابنه لتقديرات بتاع الرئيس. شفتها؟ لكن انا شخصيا ده انا عايز انه العداله دي تاكل مجراه يعني زي ما هي. شفتها؟ اما جهده بتاعت اخوه في المعرضه انه يا اخي هم دارين اجنبي يا هو يجي حكم رياك في قضايا بتاعت الناصر. انا بشوف انه this one is a big no go. وشوف نحن قبل كده اخوانا في مصر كبير يعني في ناي في اكزامبل حصل قدامنا يعني انه اخوانا القضايا بتاع جنوب السودان ده او قضاء بتاع جنوب السودان they are very fair يعني. نحن لو هم if they were not fair كان ما ناس فقال مع مجموعته كان ما يعني كلهم يعني طالما بالبراء كلهم زول واحد كده ساكت بس لقوه مذنب ما في وقام خلوهم. شفتوا ده ولاف وده بتيجي من وين؟ بتيجي من اخلاقنا نحن كجنوبيين يعني لانه نحن كجنوبيين نحن ناس اساسا من ما على خلقنا. شفتوا حتى لو مشينا الريف لو مشينا وين تلقانا نحن كجنوبيين ناس بنهيب على العداله وعداله حقنا دائما بيكون عداله مفتوحه. بكون في الناس قاعدين كده في حلبة بتاعت المحكمة هم ذاته هم اللي بيبتوا في القضية. حتى قصة جوري ده الناس دي سرقوه من وين يعني؟ سرقوه من هنا يعني هنا جنوبيين يعني. فنحن ناس بنهب عدالة ناس بنهب إنه يا أخي عدالة تاكم مجراه. حتى قصة إنه يا أخي كده ديل ممكن يوم من الأيام إنه يكونوا politician بعدين وياكم رياض مشار تعصفين كلام زي ده ما قاعد يحصل في جنوب السودان كله لانه اول حاجه القضيه دي مفتوحه اي زول شايف لو في بعدين في لو دوران ما انت هتشوف يعني انت هتشوف. فانا شخصيا ده انا بشوف انه في الاخر بعدين اذا فعلا انه يا اخي زول اللي لقوه مذنب وتم ادانته وتم محكمته دي كلها بتلقى التقديرات بتاع الرئيس. واذا بيشوف انه ده بيجيب سلام وبيعملوا اذا بيشوف انه يا اخي ده ما بيجيب سلام بيجيب مشاكل زياده ذاته فهو ما بخلوه. فانا شاكر لكم الزمن اديتوا له يعني. ثانك يو.
Patrick, in this world of Malik, if you don't mind.
يا اوكي تفضل. شكرا ابو مالك. نديك
Thank you very much. Abu Malik, I'm going to share with you a letter written by the UPA, United People Alliance, in which, by the way, Dr. Madrid is a part of it. Let me read it as written, not the whole thing. I'm just going to read the part that I want you to address. I think it was written on September 24th by the chairman of the UPA, General Pagana Momokech. Here is what he said. The UPA, United People Alliance, had condemned the collective punishment, remember that, collective punishment of the Nuer community. That means all Nuer are being punished. Carried out by the government and its allies. And this trial further represents a dangerous erosion of national cohesion and an assault on the aspirations of the people of South Sudan to live united in peace and harmony. Look at there, brother Malik, Abu Malik. What is the author? What is the Comrade Pagana Mom trying to achieve? Is this the language that unites people? Is it really true? Are the government of South Sudan, are the Nuer as a community being punished collectively? Lanu is them collectively. Is the government of South Sudan punishing the whole Nuer? And if you put yourself in the shoes of Comrade Pagana Mom, what is he trying to send to the people who read it? And what does this say about the kind of opposition we have in our country? It's very beautiful that in the law, Ubadaga like Yakun, Dr. Mudut, Dr. Mudut Bardo, and I indicala mark the don't worry. So don't worry. Abu Malik take a mic and respond to me. Thank you.
شكرا كابتن والله. بالمناسبه يعني كلنا هنا بنتفق انه اساسا بنحترم جنرال باغانا عموم وريسبكت هيم في زمن القضاء في حركه الشعبيه يعني. لكن تسريحه ده او يعني الستيتمنت ده انا بشوف انه طبعا دي ستيتمنت غير موصول يعني. لانه انت لما تقول يا اخي المتهمين ديل يعني انت تقوم تركز يعني على اصنيع حكم دي اساسا انت هتخلق مزيد من فتنه يعني. كويس. اللي كان حصل في نادي في يعني في الناصر ده كان جريمه بالذات يعني بعد ما خلاص يعني ناس نجرم مع عساكر البسيطين الفضلوا بعد ما يعني فضلوا عايشين وجاء اوامر انه يجي يقتلهم. ده جريمه في حد ذاته. فما مهم انهم اللي ارتكب جريمه ده منو يعني. اوكي الناس طبعا عملوا انفستيجيشن. اوكي and they collect all the evidence and if they end up يعني to be one ethnic group. اوكي ما ده عادي يعني. اي زول هسه حاليا في هنا في جنوب السودان هنا ده انت بتلقى انه يا اخي ممكن ناس كده في موقع جغرافي معين يطلقوا جريمه ممكن تلقاهم كلهم من قبيله واحد ما فوق حاجه. ده اساسا بتشوفه اذا سبب يصف في الحمله اللي كانوا قاعدين يقولوا زمان انه يا اخي والله يا اخي المحكمه ده محكمه بتاع دينكا وده بتاع دينكا. لكن في الاخر ذاته المحكمه دفع جانا انه يا اخي القضاء ذاته هم تشكيله بتاع جنوب السودان كلها. حتى المعاملين ذاته بتاع رياك هم تشكيله بتاع جنوب السودان كله. فانا بقول انه الكلام ما كتبه بقال عمون ده كلام غير موصول. نمرة 2 ده كلام بيزيد الفتنه في جنوب السودان. نمرة 3 هو اساسا رياك امين اللي هو بقال عمون هو اساسا ده ما ولا منه انه يا اخي كسرا يعني ما هم عملوا يو بي اي وبقى خلاص يعني هم عباره عن حركه مسلحه وهو دار يستقطب يعني مجموعه اثنين معين عشان يكونوا في حركه بتاعه عشان يكونوا جيش حقها. لكن دي كلها طبعا بوريك انه دي ياس دي محاوله الياس من بقال عموم شفتها. ودي طبعا بيظل في التحريك بعدين انه يا اخي بقال عموم هو جزء لا جزء من الفتنه اللي بيدور في جنوب السودان. وشكرا.
Thank you very much, Abu Malik. I agree with you. Back to you, Ted.
I think it's my turn because that was the only people before me.
Go ahead, Dr. You look like Patrick is having that with you. Then go ahead.
Yeah, the topic is I think somebody said earlier is speculative in general. We don't know. Maybe President Kiir will or will not. But I would like to kind of, I don't know, add my own sort of, because I'm a legalist. I like laws. I like order. And I think we South Sudanese people, I wonder if we do have an imagination at all, because the proceedings that are happening in Juba are historic. They are a major break from how we do things generally. And we had yet to stop and really regard the significance of what's happening. We're still talking as if we're just talking about anything. The trial is public. The trial is accessible to everybody, to media, to every South Sudanese, if the capacity allows. The trial is live. It's being watched around the world. It is as transparent as it gets, given the grave charges against these individuals. And yet, in our lack of imagination, what I call patriotic and ethical imagination, we still are stuck in the usual quagmire of nonsense. This is huge. And I don't see how anybody would question this trial as political or politically motivated when it is in front of the whole world. Look at that confidence. It's confidence in the judiciary. It is also confidence in the state or the prosecution possesses evidence that they want to say.
Malay, Dr. Onyol, you will continue. Akwana Henaida was at Patrick. Room Jado Ted, feasible colleague into Jibu Folk. Malay, Dr. Onyol, go ahead.
Okay.
See him, I will bring him up. Where is he? Yeah, Ustaz Patrick, Ustaz legal invitation. Yeah, so it's all right, Ustaz Atem. No, guys, like, this is like, I don't know why we don't see this. I don't know if we actually pay attention. This is not a trial that is, just as an aside, in most of the world, trials of this level, trials that include treason, for instance, trials that include crimes against humanity, they are not conducted in such open space. But we are doing it as a way to indicate that this is not some political behind the scene, or no one is hiding behind technicalities. The judges are being undermined left and right, being insulted, all of that, but they are patient, allowing the court to go as smoothly, as openly, as transparently as possible, so that the defense is able to present every single argument, including arguments for which there is no legal basis. For instance, question of the legality, competence, and jurisdiction of the court doesn't make sense. If you do not believe in this court, you will not be there. You are in front of the court calling them honorable and lord, yet you question the jurisdiction. It doesn't make sense. That too is allowed. In most courts, it would be called contempt of court. But South Sudan is trying something that we should really applaud instead of questioning it before it has finished. Namely, that there are really bad things. Abu Malik inta kalamak saha. Nas kitulu ala like malaf yani miyat nas. People were killed. Yet people are complaining about Machar being in a cage. Well, if he's in a cage, he must be like he's sitting in a big chair and smiling and in his best. What kind of cage is that? What about those who are dead and their families and the victims? What is justice here? And by justice, I mean ethical, moral sense of justice. Is Machar's life or the life of these people, better than those that have perished? Another question. If the accused are all Nuer, they're also South Sudanese. Why is their ethnicity the relevant point? They are also South Sudanese. And by virtue of being South Sudanese, they have violated laws of South Sudan, and therefore they must be tried. And this court is open. It's open not just to South Sudanese, but to the whole world, Milakai. What kind of transparency do you need beyond that? Huh? So people should not really confuse these matters. Now, about Machar, being convicted and pardoned, I think Abu Mali, you said it all, that it is a discretion of the president to pardon. These are part of, his discretions. But of course, it's not just simply pardon. There could be good reason. For example, President Kiir could pardon Machar as a way to promote national unity and perhaps reconciliation. Also, we know Kiir has this, he likes to forgive people for some reason, which is really annoying. Like there's a whole litany and long history of Kiir pardoning people, so it would not be surprising if he were to pardon Machar after all this. It could also.
And Dr. Nyoy, how long can the same guy be forgiven?
I don't know, man.
Including during the 2016 war.
No, like Dual, I swear to God, Kiir is so frustrated, all this, some could argue, is because of his refusal to enforce the law. And I think for some reason, there is this notion that if you enforce the law aggressively and impartially, that it will create division. But actually, it's quite the opposite. Kiir's leniency and this kumbaya mode of legal application is what has actually ennobled and enabled and allowed people to commit these impunities. Because being assertive and affirming and asserting and enforcing the law is actually the only basis by which you can achieve security. Law is not about, loving each other. People should be afraid of breaking the law. In South Sudan, those on the top are not afraid. In fact, they break the law, and by breaking the law, namely in killing thousands, hundreds, they are rewarded for it through this reconciliatory bullshit that it does. This is the problem. The law is the basis of the nation. It is the only thing that regulates and governs our sense of belonging. It is the basis of justice. Without enforcing the law impartially and aggressively, meaning that if you are not afraid of the law, you don't have a country, really. And so Kiir, but he has a discretion. So that's his power to pardon. It's up to him. But I can see why he could pardon Machar. It could be also a way to sort of, because the trial is already generating a lot of division and discussions. And actually, it's unfortunate what those relevant opposition in Nairobi, wherever they are, what they said. And I think the statement you read, Dual.
Let's look on the other side before you move on. Let's assume that President Kiir pardoned Dr. Riek Machar after a conviction of being guilty of corruption in Nasser. Would that unite us?
I think in the short term, like it might, but in long term it wouldn't, because it could actually undermine the proceedings. For example, if you look at the charges, and I don't think like all the charges will be proven in court, because some of them are difficult. Also, the charges are not indiscriminate. For instance, at least in the third or the second day, all of these accused are accused for different things. So we haven't yet heard actually which crimes are affixed to whom. And I think that's why we should wait before we make any declaration. Also, it's really annoying that everybody's talking about Machar, as if Machar is the only one who's been accused. There are other people too. And this is not a trial of Machar, it's a trial of other people as well. But I don't know why South Sudan don't look at it this way. But we don't know, right? We don't know who is accused of what evidence the state has to proffer or present. We don't know. But if all of this, right, takes place and there's a conviction, and the president willy-nilly, as he typically does, pardon the convicted, which might be the Machar or others, it would actually undermine justice itself and the rule of law. Because what is the point of having this high-profile case in which you are trying to assert the independence, the legitimacy, the transparency, the competence, the jurisdiction of the judiciary, and then it does its job, and then the president says, well, for some national unity or whatever, well, I'm going to pardon them. That would be within his rights, but it would undermine long-term the efficacy of the judiciary itself. But again, we are speculating, we don't know. But we can see the reason why he might do that. But for me, that's not the issue. The issue is this. The issue is that South Sudanese are actually not even looking at this in the right way. They are assuming.
If you were to do that, brother Joel, wouldn't that embolden a bunch of the tribalists who government made the moves to have all the rule against one of people would flare up a drama in the nation in anticipation that President Kiir might be afraid of how divided the nation is and may then resort to forgive somebody. Would that not
it would completely
opening a Pandora box to Anna?
Absolutely, it would completely undermine. It was also set a precedent, right? A precedent where, like, I think this is why I think also like actually I'm really curious about this. But I don't want to distract from the topic, but I have really like questions and concerns. Even how the things are being done is really interesting, because by opening this sort of trial, guys, this is a precedent. It's a new thing that will have ramification and repetition across the country and also across time. By opening the legal process, Kiir is not only opening door for South Sudan to use the legal system as a way to resolve issues. He's also opening himself to the legal process itself. And this is the question that a lot of those in opposition or those who refuse to read realities or the legal statutes or the proceedings, what they don't understand is that this is not just a trial of Machar. It is a precedent for trying people who have committed crimes, no matter their position. And it's open doors also for trying the president in some later time, because there's a precedent. People don't want to look at it this way. That's how actually the legal system works. So like for me, like I'm curious what Kiir people are thinking. And I think if Kiir pardons Machar or those who are convicted, because we don't know actually which specific crimes or charges are against Machar or the other accused. We don't know. But let's say Machar is convicted of one of these crimes and Kiir pardons him, that would actually undermine the very process itself. And it would actually give credence or credibility to the argument that this is just a political theater, that it is not really about asserting the rule of law or establishing a new way of adjudicating our differences. And so Kiir actually, he put himself, the onus right now, the burden of proof, for instance, is on the state prosecution. But above all, the whole weight of this process being fair and transparent and it's working, not being political or being a simple theater or farce, is on the government, on Kiir. And it's a huge burden, because even in this room, there are people who want the full extent of the law to be applied, which has ramifications. Like, for example, if Machar and those are accused are convicted of these crimes, we have also acts of impunity. It would trickle down across the nation and it will create issues, So I don't know how deep,
Dr. Nyol, let me share also another part from the Facebook, because this room here is being shared in Facebook, by the way, and YouTube, like it was said a while ago by Brother Comrade Medit. There is a lady called Alat Mapur in the comment of the Facebook. Here is what she wrote, and that's with regard to the question I asked a while ago, Jabu Malek, with regard to the letter written by those of Pagana Moab, the UPA in Nairobi. Here is what she said. Pagan needs to understand that when crime is committed, it's always done with the help of those who trust and agree to commit it with you. Riek hired his relatives to work with. He is using tribe ticket to get sympathy from their Riek supporters. What do you say about that? Is Pagana Mom again of giving Nuer supporters of the Riek Machar in this case, giving them
no Pagan, and those guys are committing a grave mistake. Also, Pagan's language and rhetoric, but also the position they have taken based on their analysis. Well, I heard it yesterday also from Honorable Waldau, which is basically what they refuse in this analysis or this response is that they are also condemning the Nuer community, like they are fixing the crimes or the charges against specific individuals, and they are mapping those an entire community, which is a problem. If you were to read the trial of Machar and associates, the trial of Nuer people or Nuer community, you are committing a grave mistake. Like, there are millions of Nuer who are not part of this. In fact, many dozens who are victims. If this trial proceeds, and I hope witnesses will come and victims will come and survivors will come and speak, there will be Nuer people who are casualties and victims of decisions made by these men. So for me, that reading, that collective, indiscriminate, totalizing reading of a legal process, it will reveal a certain shallowness, a certain ignorance of legal proceeding. If it were Nuer who were on trial, Machar's wife is still a minister. We didn't even go for Machar family. It's Machar as an individual, as a leader. So I don't understand that analysis. Also, long term, are we saying that when we try a citizen of South Sudan, regardless of their position, that we should confuse them with their community? It's the same analysis that has always confused us. But actually, what I will say something about this too, it really speaks to the deplorable bankruptcy of ideas in the opposition.
Yeah,
it speaks.
Conclusion, Dr.
Yeah, I will conclude. Yeah. It speaks to the extent to touch from realities, really. Rhetoric, for example, it actually, instead of actually talking about the legal stuff, for example, one could question this court, for example, but not the court per se, but the charges. Why are we wasting time on this? We should see the evidence. Can the government establish a connection between the events in Nasser and the leadership of IO? These are the questions that are pertinent. A sensible, intellectually vibrant, and really brilliant opposition would embrace this process and say that the court is good. We don't have hybrid court, which is not our responsibility. It's African Union's responsibility. But this court, now that it is public and open and transparent, we should also enlarge it to include other cases. This would be the responsible one. But these people, they want to use tribalism, using borrowed rhetoric and mode of analysis that has no bearing whatsoever in South Sudan. But above all, it is irresponsible. And it will never work in South Sudan. And that's why I keep saying there is no opposition in South Sudan, because they have no ideas. They have nothing to offer that rivals or corrects what already exists. And that's why they're irrelevant, really. And that statement is another proof of the irrelevance. And McCoy, turn me the time. Go ahead, Ustaz Pat.
Yeah, thank you دكتور نوال. خلينا نحييك وشكرا للإضافة في غرفة ساوث سودان الميديا مدينة الجاك روم. ونحيي أعزائي الكرام في المنصة فوق كمان. ندي الفرصة لبروفيسور تيمكون جواب. I think it's you كمان بروفيسور تيمكون جواب. Okay, you might tell you 7 minutes.
Brother Patrick, أنا سايك بني رأي بيجي أقوى ما بجام تلفون. Pass the line.
Okay. It wasn't yours that they can't
معناه دكتور مدود دكتور.
What's my number now? I'm so surprised, you know.
خلاص ولا كود أنا هرجع لك. I come back to you. Give دكتور مدود, then I come to you the next after دكتور مدود come. Yeah, دكتور مدود.
Thank you so much, Patrick, intelligent brother. You see, أنا متفق تماما مع أستاذ أبو مالك. أبو مالك قال كلام مهم جدا جدا للجنوبيين. He confirmed that خلي القانون يأكل مجراه. This is very important. تبدأ الحدالة بين دكتور رياض مشار خلطان ورد في أحداث عبد الناصر. القرار الأخيرة بكون بتوقع للبريزنت كير. بريزنت كير هو بيشوف إنه قرار بتاعه هو. وإحنا كشعب جنوب السودان ولو فرقنا. We have to agree that the trial must go on because we lost more than 250 people. أبناء جنوب السودان شباب أجمل مننا وأذكى مننا. ناس كان بدافع جنوب السودان. جنوب السودان بلد صغير جدا جدا مليء بإمكانيات عالية جدا جدا. كل عيون العالم جنة جنوب السودان. جنوب السودان دول الوحيد في بترول في إيست أفريقيا. جنوب السودان دول الوحيد في مياه النيل أكبر نهر في العالم. جنوب السودان بلد الوحيد في أراضي زراعية نسبة 85% غير مستخدم. جنوب السودان بلد الوحيد في أكبر مشاريع في أفريقيا. جنوب السودان دول الوحيد في أكبر مشروع عرش بيغذي 54 دولة في أفريقيا. نحن ليه نشوف أنفسنا رخاص كده؟ الناس كله أي زول طمعان في جنوب السودان. دولة صغيرة في وسط العالم 6 دول حولنا. ونحن شعب بسيط جدا 12 مليون ولا أقل من كده. فنحن دايرين أي جنوبي يعيش دافع جنوب السودان. لكن ده ما بيعني إنه أنت تعمل جريمة وتقتل الناس and then we let you just go like that. No. ده بيشجع فوضى لدولة. لو أنت عملت جريمة وما حكموك يا بكرة أنا كمان بعمل جريمة ما بيحكموني. إزيكيل قال الكلام ده. وزير بتاع البترول قال الكلام ده. لما اتهموه قال سرق قروش. هو قال ده منو بيحكم منو. الكلام ده في أونلاين قال منو بيحكم منو. لأنه إذا زول اللي بيحكمني أنا هو حرامي فكيف أنت تحكمني وأنت هو حرامي أنت هو راني كيف نسرق. ليه حلال عليك وحرام عليك. لو ناس كبار بتاعنا سياسيين بتاعنا بيسرق ونعطيهم ندخل ناس ونعطيهم إذا نحن ذاته هنعمله كذلك. لأنه كلنا نحن أبناء جنوب السودان and we contribute to this beautiful country. So why حلال عليك تعمل جرائم ويخلوني وأنا يحكموني. So number one لازم الإجراءات تكون إجراءات لازم تجي والإدانة لازم يكون واضح. then ندي فرصة لرئيس الجمهورية to decide what is the best to bring our unity. This is a point very important when we talk from brother Abu Malik analysis. Number two, I don't understand just that you is that okay. And I see the statement that from what so-called UPA, my brother, my colleague, Valdao, and actually will condemn
الحاجه عملوا حكومه انا بستغرب جدا. This is not a politics by the way. You support somebody who was sympathizing you yesterday night who walk away from the main initiative. ليه قلنا لرياض مشاري يا براذر العساير بتاع جنوب السودان انت ما تقدر ترفع براك. الاتفاقيات الفريقات اتفاق مع ايو، اتفاق مع ساوا، اتفاق مع كوبرا، اتفاق مع قوليك، اتفاق مع درويش، ده ما بيجيب سلام لجنوب السودان. تعيين بولميل نبريز دود مثلا ده ما بيجيب ده ما بيجيب السلام. اللي بيجيب السلام هو ايه؟ You have to call all the son or daughter of South Sudan and ask them what happened to you guys. What went wrong after we get our independence? كل الشعب جنوب السودان ما تفرقوا. يشيل قوم ده ويشيل قوم ده ما بيجيب سلام. So President Kiir في نيروبي we told young Mashar don't subscribe that. Aside انت ما تقدر انت. خلينا كله جوا نقدر في تربية واحد وناين President Kiir وناس على البنك. مش واحد. What happened? Who was together? Who were together for very, very long time? And we fight very hard. And we manage ourselves in the bush. Why now? What went wrong after we have a country? Riek Machar refused this idea and he walked away. Sabotage us, call us that نحن ما عندنا أجندة. رجع في جوبا دخلوا في السجن. يلا في نيروبي نحن we go out and condemn government. This is not a politics. Itu حركات قاعدين عمل ده تبغى قاعد يموت يا أخي. We have people died in the Bahar, between Libya and Europe. عندنا ناس مات في تونس. عندنا شباب وتيانيور ماتوا في خرطوم. جزء ما دعم السرير وجزء مع اخوان الطيبين اسمه برهان الدين. وعندنا ناس مات في مصر وفي ناس هسه حاليا يموت يوميا في داخل جنوب السودان simply because they are supporting General Molo or even Fakan Amon. And you have playing with our mind. Call yourself that you are leader. من بمشي برا بدون ما يسال الكوادر بدون ما يسال الناس كبار. يا اخي ده ما اننا كنا في حركه شعبيه يا اخي. الزول واحد بيقول هو الكلام بتاعه يا هو We are now PhD holder, we are engineers, we are ustads, we understand everything and don't do that. Don't use our name and make a useless statement. How can you condemn the guy yesterday who was sabotaged us in Nairobi? How? They appreciated it. So I'm completely condemn that statement. Fakana Mum send out the people of South Sudan. We disagree with that. Giga huwa إذا رياض مشان متورط في ناصر لابد أن قانون يأخذ مجراه. نتيجة نخلي بريزنت كير أخيرا ندير أقول كلام مهم جدا لشعب جنوب السودان. شوف ما في solution. لو شلنا كير بكرة هيشيلونا بكرة. لأن ما عاوزين ثقافة شمالية. ثقافة بتاع السودان القديم اللي يستمر 70 سنة. انقلاب. انتخابات. انقلاب. الحرب تشترك في جنوب. ما دارين ثقافة دي يجي في جنوب السودان. أنا بفكر إنه the best solution in this current situation in South Sudan هو vacation بتاع SPLM. عروسة SPLM is vacation. This is actually the best way. الحركة الشعبية يتواحد ويمشي يعمل يسجل الناس اللي ماتوا من 2013 يعوضوهم ويحكم الناس السبب في موت بتاعت المواطنين. Then حركة شعبية also should go out and apologize to people of South Sudan. حركة شعبية بتنظيماتها إما الأحزاب الما رفض باسم حركة شعبية لكن ناس South Sudan Unite Front SAWA whatever you call them ديل نخلهم يسجلوا بطريق رسمي وينافسوا مع حركة شعبية في داخل دولة الواحد لأن دولة ممكن يحكم حزب واحد. The party is actually leading the development and progress in the state. That actually happened in Europe, in the US, the Western world, and everywhere. when the government is. Otherwise, فالنفاق قاعد حصل ده ما بيجيب solution. لأنه لو شلنا كير وجوا ولا ما تقدر تقعد في جيوان ولا يوم واحد. And by the way, في ناس بقول كير ومرياض they might go home. How can you do that? مرياض رياض مشاري عنده واحد idea. جاي مصطلح more than 15,000. Okay. زول زي ده بقولوا أمشي بيت كيف. وعنده سلاح في يده. President Kiir عنده متيانيور more than 25,000 مصطلح. وعنده دكتوبين وأسماء كتير. زول زي عنده powerful. How can you tell him that go home? كيف تقول لزول عنده power go home? Power ما بيشيل زي ده. Power بيشيل في حرب حاجات. Number 1 تعمل coup. 2 مظاهرات. Number 5 impose the government. Number 3 number 4 in election. All those things لو ما حصلت ما حصل يشيل power. Kiir has been in office for more than 20 years. Can you actually impose this guy to go home? فأنا بقول يا جنوبيين بكل اختصار the best solution هي اتفاقية بتاعت عروسة 2016. الحركة استوت يعطي الجنوبيين ويعوض الجنوبيين ويحتضر لشعب جنوب السودان ونحن نريد to create a new idea. نحن نطلع دستور جديد وهذا الدستور يساوي كل شعب جنوب السودان بقدر نظر انت الدستور طويل اقدر قيافه جاي من على النيل جاي من باركزال. This is not our concern. Our concern انت مواطن جنوبي نحن نساوي فوقك وده بيخلينا نكون عندنا فرق بين السودان والجنوب. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my club hand for you, Dr. Madut. You made a very impressive point of somebody who denied you and said you have no agenda, and then you come and follow him. Thank you. I clap my hand for that.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Madud. Are you done?
It's done.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Madud. دكتور مدود يا كلامك كويس. خلينا نشكرك في منصة South Sudan Eagle Media. I think your contribute is very clear. في بعض الحاجات بس نقول للopposition they don't understand يعني السيتويشن الماشي هسه حاليا. يا جماعة إدارة الدول ما بيديروا بنفس السلوك بتاع الopposition ده. يعني لما نقول South Sudan is Republic of South Sudan معناه جمهورية جنوب السودان. نحن دولة جمهورية. لما نكون دولة جمهورية لها سلطة لها نظام معناه الأوبوزيشن ما يمشي بنفس النظام القديم ذاك نظام التقليدي. نظام بأنه الدولة ما يكون في رأس حرب. يعني نظام أنا بشوفه امبارح الوالدة وقاعد يتكلم له النظام بتاع الدولة يديروا منظمات يديروا جمعيات. يعني الحكومة لازم يدوا لجمعيات بس يوزعوا لجمعيات هي تدير الأمن تدير الشؤون بتاعت الدولة. ما يكون في نظام بتاع حرم ما النظام بتاع الرئيس كده يكون قاعد في رأس الدولة ده ما في. كله كوميونيتي يدير البلد يدير شؤون وراه. ده النظام تقليدي. ده نظام في قرون الوسطى. لكن نظام الحس الماشي دولة جمهورية لازم يكون في رأس حرم يكون رئيس والأوبوزيشن يمارس سياساته الثاني يقوي تقوية الأحزاب يكون في هناك استقطاب للشعبية يكون لها قاعدة شعبية. لأنه الحرم بتاعت الدولة خلاص هي ما هي بتمرر السياسات هي بتدور الشؤون بتاع الدولة وفق الأوبوزيشن الشغال معه الأحزاب اللي لها صوت أعلى في الدولة. يعني نجي نشيل سبيل المثال العيوز شريك في الدولة. يعني بالنسبة الاتفاقيات بتاعت بيس اجريمنت 2018 الماشرة رياك عنده نسبة معين في الاتفاقية لأنه كأوبوزيشن بديه حق كشريك في السلطة وأي ملابسات في الدولة هو جزء منه. لكن لما نيجي نقول الأوبوزيشن ده الليلة في كوت هناك بيطلب والادعاء بتاع الدولة محكمة الجنايات بتاع الدولة جنوب السودان بيطلب بأنه في نوع من التآمر نوع من العمل التخريبي نوع من الإرهاب. ضد النائب الاول دكتور رياك ماتشار. ليه نحن بنرجع ورا تاني ونلخبط الاوراق والاوبوزيشن القاعد برا، المعارض اللي ما موقف في اتفاقيه سلام بتاع 2018، المعارض اللي ما عنده الما موقع خالص، بيجي بيلقى نفسه هو يعني طرف في 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 حل القضايا اللي قاعد يحصل، وبانه المعارض الما موقع هو جزء من التحالف اللي قاعد يعمل نفسه هسه في الخارج. لما نيجي نشوف التحالف اللي قاعد يعمل نفسه بويتنا تانيال بخلوه كنائب لدكتور رياك ماتشار ونائب في البرلمان لتحالفه مع ناشونال سيرفيشن فرانس، ده بيديك شنو يعني؟ ده بيديك انطباع في نوع من انقلاب، في نوع من التآمر ضد الدوله. انك انت ممكن ان تكون شريك في السلطه وشريك في عمل بتاع مكونات الدوله الاساسي وتتمرد ضد الدوله، تتمرد ضد رئيسك وتتمرد ضد حزبك. القاعد يحصل في ناصر اللي جابوا المدعي العام للمحكمه العليا في دوله جنوب السودان في ملابسات جرائم والجريمه بلاحق دكتور رياك ماتشار وعوانه السبعه، وفي مجموعه كان مكون من 83 فرد، ضمنهم طلعوا بكفاله، ضمنهم طلعوا بضمانات شخصيه، ضمنهم طلعوا بعفو. عموما المحكمه النيابه العامه اصدر تهم قوي جدا ولازم الكود يتم اجراءه. اما المعارضه الما موقع والمعارضه عندها اتفاقيات برا لسه غير فعاله، اتفاقيه توميني ولا اتفاقيه شنو، ده لازم هم كمان يقعدوا مع نفسهم يجلسوا في اتفاقيه توميني يشوفوا الضمانات بتاع الاتفاقيات ده، عشان يا دكتور حدود ان احنا يعني السيتيزن الامه بتاع جنوب السودان بقى كونفيوز، بقى بين امرين. وده اللي كان قلناه من زمان يا جماعه، لو في اي حاجه ضد الدوله الشعب اطلعوا مظاهرات واعتصموا وطالبوا بحقوق سلميه. الشعب عنده حق. عايزين تعملوا مظاهرات ضد حقوق المدنيين، المواطن عنده حق، لكن المواطن ما عنده حق يشيل سلاح عشان يحارب الدوله ضد تنظيم او ضد اوبوزيشن ثاني. يعني انا عايز اوبوزيشن فلان، اوبوزيشن بتاع انا احارب واقاتل الحكومه واقاتل اي عسكري في حكومه، حتى لو الشرطه ولا الجيش اقتلهم، لانه انا داير اغير الحكومه ده باوبوزيشن الجاي الثاني اللي هو ده قاعد يحصل. اول اوبوزيشن هسه قاعد يستخدموا مدنيين عشان يحاربوا ضد اهدافهم. ده المشكله، لانه يقول لي اوبوزيشن عندكم مشكله في السياسات بتاعكم. ده السياسات ده ما بيمشي. هناك في حرم بتاع الدوله، في رئيس في الدوله لازم نديه حقه. الفتره بتاعه انتوا ذاتكم بتمدوا كمعارضه ما موقعه، كمعارضه حاليا شغال مع الحكومه، انتوا بتمدوا الصلاحيات بتاعت الرئيس، لانه الرئيس الليله ما ممكن الليله يجيب الالكشن والبلد فيها صراع، فيها نزاع زي ده، يودوه وين؟ في مناطق حتى الان فيها نوع من انلوك، يعني الحكومه ما قادره تمارس سلطتها فيها. وده شفناه بالزول اللي بيقول لهم مكويت تود لما طلع وقاعد يحددوا شايل سلاح. ابنا اللي ودوه وين؟ فانتوا اوبوزيشن، انتوا كده، انتوا عندكم اسلوب القاعد يهاجم السلطه في الدوله، دارين تخطوا السياسه، لان انتوا سياسيين. السياسه ما بيستخدموا مدنيين. المدني ممكن يقلب الحكومه ده بكره، بمظاهرات اسقاط الحكومه. هل لو سقطوا الحكومه ده انتوا ده دوركم هيكون شنو؟ دي كارثه اللي انتوا قاعد تستخدموه ضد المدنيين. ده اسلوب ما كويس، لانه المواطن البسيط هو الدافع الثمن ده كله. دكتور مدود،
انا اقول لشعب جنوب السودان من عبر السودان انجل ميديا، انا داير اقوله كشخص مسؤول في السودان ينادي فرون، وهو واحد من مدرب بتاع الاعلام. نحن الرساله بتاع السودان فرون واضح جدا جدا. جر مالون قال انه نحن ما نعمل اي تعليق ما يجري في جنوب السودان right now because we are not part of this system. ده نمبر 1. نمبر 2 حتى في المفاوضات نحن منعونا إنه ما نعلق في المفاوضات. Okay. Right now, brother Waldau, General Gao, Malu Alaka, the President United Front, Dolaka, the USCA. And I don't think General Malong is a part of this disruption. I don't think so. Because we do believe, in the target Makuma, to power my government, and we are waiting for them to come back to Nairobi to complete what we actually stand for. أجل تومن هو قال في جوا ده قاعدين شاغل البرام دخل السجن لأن ما المفروض أصل ما نعلق ذاته أصل أي زول في المعارضة المفروض ما يعلق لأنه أنت ما جزء من الاتفاقية 2018 ولا جزء من الديستراكشن. So what is your concern؟ نحن ما نعلق برا الجنوبيين. So سياسة الجنوب ملو واضح جدا جدا جدا. نحن ما يجي الدخل لما يجي في جوا. هنا وضع اتفاقية إنه مشاغل مع بعض. وهم رفضوا يسمعوا رأي الجنوبيين. لأن نقول لرياض مشاة في نيروبي برادر العسائر التقليد ما تنصرفها براد. خلينا نتعاون سوا، خلينا نكون جوا ونجي نقعد ونسأل البريزنت كير نحن ماشيين وين ونحن واقفين وين. رياض مشاة رفض عمل لنا بلوك ورجع يجيبه دخلوا سجن. يلا نحن نجيب معه كيف يعني. This is politics. We have to politics. ما في أخوك ولا أمك ولا أبوك. ما في كلام زي ده. So سياسة قاعدين نعمل هسه في نيروبي General Malong is not part of this issue. I can tell you, and this is statement must be clear, we are not part of the structure between the IO and the IG. Period. Thank you.
I was as part of that السؤال ممكن بس سؤال
I ولا كودي أو جاي I دكتور نوال for 1 minute.
Yeah, it's just a question to Dr. Madud. Dr. Madud يعني نائب الرئيس جوزيفين لاغو she said هي قالت في UN إنه الحكومة مستعدة ترجع للنقاش للمحاورات التوميني. And my question is to you, and by extension to General Malong, given that IO, or rather Turmachar now is in trial, and therefore, he can no longer undermine or insert disruptive interjections to the process of Khomeini, and given that the government has declared in front of the world that they are willing to resume the Khomeini talk, how do you think this would work out with the coalition in Nairobi? It is true that I don't think General Malong is part of this argument that the tribalization of the trial, but he's also part of the union, right, of the group in Nairobi, which are really crucial for the Khomeini talks. How do you think this will work out? Do you think we're going to break up the coalition, or do you get my question?
So, I get it, but politics is a common interest. When your interest is there, you pull that interest. So we will see what is our interest as a South Sudan United Front. Thank you.
شكرا دكتور مدود. انا بعدين بسألك برضه في سؤال، لكن انا احتفظ به وادي مع دي brother ولا كود is your turn. Yeah, sorry to I moved the line، لكن انا I don't understand. I moved the line لكن انا بقول معليش ما شفت اللاين قبل كان لاين روم جدعني تحت وما قدرت تاني اطلع فوق. I think they are
No, you're good. You're doing well, Patrick. This is good.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Wala Kot is your.
Thank you, brother Patrick. Now I got a lot of things to Jonkor, but Jonkor not here right now. I don't know what can I say. And Madud said something in Denka language. I will respond in Denka language too later. What I'm gonna say here, the president will to punish Dr. Young Machar. I don't think what they're gonna do that the President Kiir they give everybody license in Sudan to attack any government in Sudan, and you kill what you want. And then you're gonna go to court, you're gonna wait for President Kiir to give you a final too. That's what I see it. I come out the war of nothing, they kill a lot of people. Who have our family to be killed in nothing. You think President Kiir they're gonna get further to Riek Machar to be free? See the people lost on relative. They're gonna say, oh, President Kiir say, I don't think so this time. What the Kiir they're gonna accept to do it like way they did it before to G10. This time the Kiir Mayar gonna say something in any or they're gonna hear something and not to be vulnerable for what the Kiir Mayar did later. Our people not to be killed every year, and somebody come and say, oh, our brother. Ajama, Allah ki look at your good, oh my God. It could happen. They're gonna do it, and somebody lost own relative. They're gonna find a way to do what their young Machar did. And we're gonna see how they're gonna go. This time, we cannot accept it. I lost more than 8 people in Nazareth. Our people lost in Nazareth, they go to the event, and somebody did it, would know that the young Machar planning, sit in Juba and kill a relative. They call the name of Denka. When Salva Kiir Mayardon lost a relative in Nazareth, they're gonna do it. And if somebody lost a relative in Nazareth, they're gonna find a way. They're gonna find a way to do what the young Machar did it too. Juba, we're gonna find a way how to do it. Dakal Juba, we're gonna do it. Ajama, it is death in the one way. Nobody can be safe forever in the world here. You can death in when you not go to the war. You can death exactly the time people are died, but not human being. That way they did it. And they're still laughing. They feel happy. No. It cannot happen. The way that Salva Kiir Mayardit were to be guilty and Salva come back like way they did it before. But they see it in Junuran where they're gonna go this time. Tabia and Dr. Madu Daleka Jalwell Tong Manjang. Tinga chi when I you preach call mayo. Until John Cor Mayo. Chin a new warapka, koi warapka. What happened? Political was sagadium or calanadium kan. Kuchupal. Kuwajubakambia. Political, a quite a chin you attend token. When you go to Junuba Jet and the Lord, Kuchupal, Wajubakambia. Leona or William. Can you check on how William now, Madin Madin? Land Madin. Ki attack a chow will any attack of it. Ki attack them and go out and a Gary Allen attack. Chatting when the Chira and Chol John Correa use John Correa military. A civilian saga, a kick on military. A woman I'm alone in a year you do the Kenya by it. Which you don't you do the Kenya by it. Kid them a den, here you do the Kenya by it. In which you or the mic the Kenya by in which you use it. In which I didn't work with Kenya by it and you use. Which you doctor one Kenya. One point I left it, in which you use. In the bull, I see your boy, the use. And political cut, you need to stop. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
شنو اللي مشاكل يا صور الداب صور الداب مكالب وتمر مكالب
متغلور والله انت زول عجيب تسلم حبيبي
في مارشال متيانو
دكتور نيول يا جمود يا
جمود يا راني لكن زول عجيب والله ضحكتني والله
صور داب مكالب
والله بلد يا دكتور نيول بلد الناس ثاني ما بيعرفين يعمل هولوكوست يا جماعه هولوكوست كتول مونجا هولوكوست كيلو لو تنكي بتيجي نيجي in Sudan there is a holocaust to Denka بنفسه كمان are part of parcel of the problem أننا ما بننقر الكلام ده لكن كل حاجة في جنوب السودان لازم كمان ناس الغير دينكا برام ذاته يطلعوا يقولوا يا جماعة حقيقة عملناه أننا ذاته we are part of the problem ده ما دينكا برام أيوة كده بيجيب شنو it will invite a conducive environment become created here where people can sit and dialogue and accept themselves لكن عشان you point finger تقول لا انت domination وانت كده وما دايرينك لا امشي قدام يا برادر باتر
صور داب وين انا جبت له الرؤيه بتاع صور داب في المارشال متيانو يا اخي والله
في بلغ وين من موجه في بلغ في 1 second او موجه لا واي جاي لا واي توي باي بير وي so كن مفروض باو عليه جا بكل صراحه thank you
شكرا دكتور مدود شكرا ولا كوت في المارشال متيانو مرحبا يا اخي خلينا نشكرك برضه بالمداخله بتاعك الجميل الغنية بتاعت حماس سوار داب وين سوار داب مقالب ساوث سودان ايجل ميديا مديد مجاك شكرا لقنواتك لنشرك برضو اللقاء الحصري على الفيسبوك على اليوتيوب يا جماعة الناس اللي قاعدين تحت ليزن تحت برضو المنصة دي لايف على الفيسبوك برضو لايف على اليوتيوب وعلى الإيشو الماشي في حاليا في جنوب السودان والتوبيك مديد نقول لك شكرا مرة تانية لأنه التوبيك هناك is very يعني توبيك جميل جدا ونحن مترقبين بعد يومين بتوقيت بتاع يوروب ممكن نقول أمريكا بعد يوم ونص ممكن نقول برضو في أفريقيا كمان يومين مديد نحن مترقبين محاكمة رياك إذا السيد الرئيس نقول فخامة الرئيس جمهورية جنوب السودان سلفا كير ما يريد أن يعفي دكتور رياك ماتشار إذا بقى هناك هو جلد هو ونحن بنقول له هو متهم المتهم بريء حد ما يثبت إدانته لكن نحن بنقول رياك القانون هيتم إجراءه ونحن مع القانون والقانون هو اللي هيكون مفصل للشعب بتاع جنوب السودان لأنه هناك في دماء وفي أرواح بتاعت شهداء وده لازم كل مواطن الفقد تعز له زول وأسر الشهداء لازم ياخذوا حقوقهم لأنه الإنسان هو الأغلى حاجة في الدنيا يا جماعة لأنه الإنسان في أي محافل دولية الإنسان زائد قيمة لأنه لما تجي تقتل الإنسان بدم بارد بتقتل الإنسان بدم بارد المجتمع الدولي والمجتمع الإقليمي حقوق الإنسان ما بيخديك فرصة بأنك أنت يديك حق بأنك تقتل بني آدم نحن بنقول هناك في أرواح فقدناهم 200,000 جندي مدافع لأرض الوطن جنوب السودان وعلى رأسهم القائد جنرال ماجور داك ديل دماغهم ما يروح حدر وعايزين نشوف مينو ورا الملابسات بتاع الجريمة ده عشان القانون يدي حق لأسر الشهداء وقبل ما ندي الفرصة لمتيان النور I think متيان النور سيوتان متيان النور شيل ده معاك ان احنا في ويسترن وول بنقول بنناشد حكومة جنوب السودان بنقول لهم مبروك مرة تاني للبروتوكول بتاعت المحاكم اللي هنا شفناه، المحكمة الأولى والجلسة الأولى والجلسة الثانية كان بمنتهى الاحترام ومنتهى الجودة العالية، ونقول لجنوب السودان مبروك، نجح في تقديم أخيرا العدالة وتقديم المتهمين الثمانية أمام العدالة عشان الدولة بقت ماشية في مجراها الصح. فنحن عايزين الدولة يكون دولة قانون، والناس بيستغرب بيقول ليه جنوب السودان بقى دولة بتاعت بوليس ده؟ نقول نعم، جنوب السودان نتمنى الشعب يكون شعب هو ذاته المواطن يشارك في الأمن.
السلام عليك برضو. في المارشال بيك ماونتن، في المارشال كونتاكت، في المارشال كولا أكول، ودكتور نيوال برادر أكول أكول، ومكير وتوان. السلام عليكم. ونازل تحت. أنا this court process is actually a democratic way of doing things in a sovereign state. Even in a sovereign state, when there is a political difference, is resolved in the parliament. If it's a political parties having difference in their opinion, or who might run for presidency, it is because it's selected up there. And we don't want that. They are بيجيب مشاكل في البلد. أننا دايرين to a point where Zol is Trump, just a civilian out of nowhere, a businessman. Okay? مثلا نمشي نجيب زول من وestern بارغزال، زول اللي بعمل فهم هناك. Okay? who at least who خريج عنده high school diploma, عنده associate degree or some bachelor degree, but he's a educated man and never even smelled a military before. But there's all into hikmah وفاهم سياسة وفاهم دولة ده ببنو كيف عنده كبرة. اوكي الزول زي ده من constituency بتاعه لو هو معروف، okay, and he will sell himself للشعب. He will start appearing in public forums, making things, organizing, you know, have a record of doing good stuff. So when you come to political arena, people will recognize you, and your fair chance to become president is there. Anina ma darina zol da guide mana min zaman numeri yum da who can siyasi uda ya kan guide mana fi SPLM yum. No, we don't want that either. Nina darin zol hinak min hinak the nizam bita Trump da aywa bil mana we have pillars of democracy in the country of fairness. Okay, لمواطن الأخير هي يكون رئيس. ما قال أنا يوم ده أنا كان كده وأنا نمرة 5 وأنا نمرة 7 وأنا كان نمرة 2 and I was نمرة 2 للpresident, and if he goes, it goes to me. No, we don't want that kind of system. Isn't it the same system you are fighting for? If that's what you are fighting for, why are you causing problems to bring us to where we are now? That means you breaking the rule to make the rule that you want to happen. But that's not it even. You are breaking the rule for yourself, not for others. You're taking a shortcut for yourself, not for others. Dave, now we are at this juncture of the court procedures in regard to the crimes that has been committed by Riek Machar and his associates in Nasser. Now, there is a Pandora box here. And I don't think our president needs to open that Pandora box. We have a Pandora box that is already happened, been opened, this Pandora box of rebellion from 80s to 90s to now. And this pardoning, it has to have a condition, a very serious condition, an expulsion from a country completely for good. That has to be considered on the table. Or the second option is the legal procedures that should it be followed till the end to define and render justice to the crime that has been committed means death penalty. Because we don't see any reason to say we want to keep him locked up in prison for good. You only if you do that, you are only making people think that they have a chance to fight and cause more chaos to break him out and force him into the seat. So we want him out of the country for good and to be made legal. That should you return to this nation in any way or shape or form, caught by authorities, you will be arrested. You slip through back door, you come in somewhere, and you end up being caught. And you are part of the problem that has risen by that time. Mind the court, there is no court to take you in because you were already expelled. Talga Firas. $14 million نفر destiny should not be jeopardized because of one man always. If I go on the ground and create forces and make problems, then inta lo gabatani matal ga Firas. Lo inta hakuma. Lo hakuma yagbudni and I cause chaos. And that is the consequence of being a rebel. Matal ga Firas. Malu yani. Rajil ma bamut maratin, bamut mara wahid bas. Fadak da ana bagbalu. I will accept that. But what about this? ده بقى لناس زي عظم سمك. This problem became a fish bone stuck in the throat. You cannot swallow it, you cannot throw it away. What do you do with this? Then, if you take it to an emergency room, they would have to use the medical procedures oral treatment. They will open your mouth. They will shine a light there. They will insert a grip to go and grab that bone, and it will break as it comes out because it buries its end deep into the tissue. So when you pull it, it's going to break. It will never be the same again. So when you bring it out, you don't put it back in the fish. You will throw it away. With a solution with a fish bone. We don't expect him to come back to the politics once this court procedures goes. The $100 mama fruit diamond, mushkala bitazol wahid yaba small all the time. And Uzol day is the opening of Pandora box. They jabal for the kulu zol biga shinu, biga rebel. Lano fi rebel kabir guide. Ulo rebel da who guide fi gaba, ushinu babna zol da kaman ku rebel fi rebel tani guide. Udak they out there in the smoke kalamu. But rebel da zol da kaman bugul, ana rebel kaman, udak ana rebel kaman. Ukide dola mama mishi kidam, lano rebel da mishi ni baktul finas. Udabam shina baktul finas. Udabam shina baktul finas. So which problem the government should face now? You're facing over 20 rebels. ولما انتحب يزول بيقولوا بس مواطنين ويجيبوا لك UN بكمية والبيجي بيقول انت غلطان. لا. This court proceedings should be observed and rendered the justice as the law calls for. Once something brought before the justice, you don't go back from that. There was a case in Louisiana. No, I mean in Alabama, a black African American who was accused of killing 2 police officers. But it's not really him. It was someone else, one of his associates. And when the wrong guy was arrested, they took him to the court later. People have written letters to the governor. People written letters, even to the state civil law, what do you call civil right office, to speak with the governor. He didn't listen. The real criminal who killed the 2 police officers, he even came forward. He confessed that indeed he is the criminal. He is the killer. He even presented the weapon he used to kill the 2 police officers. Still they refuse. The letter was sent to Trump. Remember that Trump, when he was in the office first term, and Trump refused to pardon the guy because he's innocent. And they end up killing him. He was executed according to the law. Now, if in the first world country, a guy who didn't even kill people at all. Not just he was wrongly convicted. No, in a country where democratic roots seems to be the foundation of the nation. With all the legal procedures and investigation has failed to look carefully into the guy to save his life. But yet they insisted that this guy is guilty and they end up killing him. So, if you look in this court case where Riek Machar, not only if you look into the Nasser case, that many people lost their life, but even you go back to 2016, he was the cause. Because of him, that happened. You go back to 2013, because of him, that happened. For many years in the back. Now that he's in the court facing his own crimes, that not only he is brought to justice, but there is an evidence. The murder weapon is caught, is there, is found. Not only that, he has the blood of the victim on him. In other words, the people he killed is unjustifiable. It's a crime. And his hand is in it. And if your hand is in something that you have blood in your hands. And not even only that, there is a witness who will be testifying that yes, indeed, because the witness is a credible thing in the court. Witness have no interest. Witness would always want justice to be rendered.
Okay, guys, thank you. For those of you who are listening in on Facebook and Clubhouse, in YouTube. Thank you. You can join us in Clubhouse. While we continue with discussion, I will close down the room, the studio. We reach our time, 2 hours. So if you want to listen in more, please go to Clubhouse and you will join us there. Thank you guys for joining us this topic. We will see you guys next time. Thank you. Have a good night.